Hello and welcome to day number 22 of Advent. So do you know the song, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas? You know that song? It's a song I grew up with. Maybe you heard it in your country. Maybe you hear it often. Does that make sense? Do the words make sense? But I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. It implies that there's no snow and you want snow, right? But the funny thing is, as I was growing up, that song never made sense to me because where I live, here in Canada, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to have snow at Christmas time. Whiteness is synonymous with Christmas. We've had, I think, a couple times in my life where we didn't have snow at Christmas, but is so extremely unusual. We always have snow at Christmas time. But I was also thinking that for a lot of other people in the world, it's also strange, these lyrics, this idea of dreaming of a white Christmas. Because for many of you, I imagine, it would never snow at Christmas time, ever. And it's very, very hot. And maybe it never snows ever where you live. And especially, in the places where it's 30 degrees and people are just thinking of going to the beach and, people are harvesting crops or whatever they're doing, and it's hot at Christmas time, and they would never even think of snow having anything to do with Christmas, except that maybe they've seen movies that take place at Christmas time in snowy places. I think a lot of the movies take place in snowy places, especially the older ones. Everything, always it's about snow, right? Christmas and snow. But yeah, for some of you, you've never experienced that. So sometimes I think, who is that song for? But I think if you think about people who live in places in the United States where sometimes there's snow and sometimes there's not at Christmas, maybe they dream about having a white Christmas if there's no snow. Maybe for them, without snow, it doesn't feel like Christmas, and yet sometimes there's no snow, sometimes there is. Or that song could be about somebody like me who grew up somewhere where it's always snowy at Christmas time, and now they live somewhere warm where there's no snow. And they miss that and they want snow again for Christmas. Whatever the case, I think it's a really nice song, and I always liked it, but it didn't make sense to me. The words made no sense to me, and I always wondered about it until I got older and I realized that it probably didn't make sense to a lot of people, but for some people it does. Anyways, how about we open the Advent calendars now? It's a guy racing on a little sled. I think it looks way too small for him, but yeah. By the way, I was looking it up in Spanish, and it looks like the word trineo is the same for that kind of a sled as for the sleigh that Santa uses. For me, they're different. For me, a sleigh is bigger, but that little thing is a sled. Anyway, just something interesting to share with you in case you wanted to learn a little bit more English. Christmas English. Russia.
Поздравляем с Рождеством.
Поздравляем с Рождеством.
And I broke this one. Look at it. It's pathetic. It is hot chocolate, and the cheese of the day is vintage cheddar. Num 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 num. So here's one more thing I wanted to share with you. Remember, I made cookies the other day, and they just didn't turn out that well because I forgot to put the egg in when I was supposed to. But I think that recipe just isn't that good. I think it needs more liquid anyway. And I found a better recipe, and I made them again, and I did it right this time. I think these ones turned out a little better. I'm gonna give some to my neighbor for Christmas, and I also made these other cookies. These are triple chocolate brownie cookies or something. I'll leave the link in the description. I got them from a video by a YouTuber who does recipes. She also lives in Canada, and oh, I just loved her Christmas cookies. So I really recommend you check out her video and you check out her channel. I find it's a really good way to practice another language by following a recipe in that language or a video, a cooking video, and making the recipes. I do that with, I really like this Chilean YouTuber cook, and I'll leave you his link as well, because I like to make his recipes sometimes. So that's all for today. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.